launch an event called False Labels. I have this beautiful young lady here. Could you tell us your name?
Yes, my name is Etta Graham Mitchell, and I'm a member of Eastchester Presbyterian Church, where Marie Claire Kuja is my sister in Christ.
Sister in Christ. So how long have you known Kuja?
I've known her now for about over 4 years when she first started at our church, and at that point she hadn't written a book as yet. But in a group we were talking and she said, I'm going to write a book. And I was so impressed by her statement because it sounded like it came from her heart. And the next year when I saw her after that time, she said, I'm getting ready too. And she asked me if I could read the manuscript. When I read the first couple of chapters, I was blown away. It was a powerful statement, and since then, she's taken off. The book, False Label, is such an apropos name because so many of us are given labels. And those labels, if we believe them, especially when they're negative, they follow us all through life. And in following us through life, we have this feeling of sense of not belonging. And so for her to have taken those labels that were given to her and said, you know what, nobody can label me. God is who labeled me. And God labeled her a child of His. And so just looking at this young woman and the fact that these words that she put on paper will carry on in eternity, and they will help someone. They will help bullies. They will help ex-bullies. They will help mothers, fathers, teachers. And because when we bring children into the world, it is our responsibility to help our children be the best that they can be.
That's right.
So I'm very proud of her.
Hallelujah. You said it all perfectly. So now speaking of what this book will help others accomplish, how has this book helped you personally?
Well, first of all, the way the book has helped me is more in terms of saying that when we have goals and dreams, and we put them out to the universe, and then we do the work, it can be done. And she's been someone who has been an inspiration to me. She sometimes will say, I'm an inspiration to her, but I think we inspire each other. And so that's really positive. I've had my niece and I have my daughter. They've read some of the books that she's written. And for me, it's just a matter of, I'm always promoting her books. I'm always promoting it, telling other people about what she's done. And just knowing that she's in my circle of friends is just a wonderful thing.
Right,
yes.
Right. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much, and you have a beautiful night. Hello again. Could you tell us your name, beautiful?
My name is Joy Okonkwo, and I'm well known in the Bronx as Golden Touch. And I've had my business for 21 years, and I am happy to be here tonight.
Can you tell us how you know Kuja and how she has impacted your life, if any?
I knew her through my young lady, Chichi. And when she came to my church to speak, I was moved. And that's why I'm here tonight, to support her.
Now, as far as the books go, False Labels, what do you think of that title? And have you read the book yet? If you have, what do you think of it?
That title, like I said before, is the right title for the book.
Right.
Because I believe that title will move people to look at the book, and then that will give them the opportunity to look inside the book. And I know that book will touch so many lives and change so many lives.
Right. That's true. Now, as far as Kuja herself, how, especially with this book, this amazing book, stereotyping and everything, through reading it, and you seem like a woman who has been through, like, who knows life. You know life, you're very wise, you come off as a wise woman. Is there still anything that Kuja has been able to teach you as a young woman her age?
What I would say about this book is that I know that this book will touch lives of both old, young, and middle age, and all different ages, because I know that each and every one of us, we used to be young, even when you are old, even today, whatever age that you are, people still have a stereotype towards you.
Right.
So I believe that these books will touch all kinds of lives, whether you are old or you are young. I know that people will benefit something from the book. And it has benefited me, and I saw myself in that book when I read the book. And I know that other people will see themselves also when they read it, or that will encourage other people to read the book.
Right. Thank you so much for that. I feel exactly as you feel.
I am so happy to be here, and I will say more kudos to you, Marie.
Yes.
God bless you. You will touch even more lives in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello again. This is Baby Lauren here at Kuja's book launching, False Labels. I have here, sir, what is your name?
Andreas Anyangwe.
Sir, could you tell us what do you think of Kuja's book, False Labels? Have you read it? And if you have, what do you think of the book and the title especially?
It's a great book. It's a great book, and I think that the title speaks for itself. In our life, we've been labeled in so many ways, even up to the point of people who don't know us. I would like to quote one of my famous bosses, Ferdinand Oyono. He said, in this world, there will always be people who will not like to see peace anywhere, no matter what it takes. And by so doing, they will always want to label you falsely, without knowing you. Having seen the book and the content of the book, I think it is a great book. It's a wonderful book. As a coordinator in education and as an education consultant, I think it's a book that I would like to recommend in my field. And I hope that this book lands the bookshelf of so many public schools in New York City. And I will do whatever it takes in my capacity to promote this book to the best of my ability. It's a wonderful book.
It's a beautiful book, and I'm so happy that, well, first, you are the first male I'm interviewing, and it makes me so happy in my heart because as women, as girls, I think one of the things that we're lacking really in our lives is the support of our men. You know, the support of our fathers, our brothers, our uncles, such as yourself. And for you to have given that to Kuja, I think we definitely commend you largely for that. And thank you so much for this interview. You definitely showed us another side of Kuja that we did not hear of. Thank you.
Yeah, I think what Kuja has done is, what you say in education, that education is not filling of the pail, but education is like lighting a match and throwing it in a flame, and it will burn forever.
That's true.
She's opened the road. She's proven to us that the barrier can be broken. She's proven to us that she did not just start running the race at the foot of the mountain, but she picked up by walking, and when she got midway, she started running. That's why she has been able to complete this journey where she has embarked on.
Right.
And it's a pride for us as men to encourage her, to tell her that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Gone are the days when my I cannot say uneducated, but my illiterate parents thought that educating a girl was another man's property. It is no longer the same. We've seen that girls can do what it takes for a man to do. We've seen that girls have climbed mountains. We've seen that girls have moved mountains. The example is for Rose to be here today. Look at the amount of people that she has been able to bring here today.
Right.
Some men cannot even do. So it's no longer a matter of girl or boy, but it's a matter of tenacity, strength, and the ability to be able to accomplish what you set forth.
Right. Definitely. Well said. Well said. Thank you so much. That concludes our interview. Thank you so much.
Indeed.
Have a
The
beautiful
pleasure's
night.
mine. Thank you.
Hello, good evening again. We are here at Kuja's book launching, False Labels. I'm here with this beautifully dressed lady. What is your name? Amabel. Amabel?
Yes.
Now, Amabel, what do you think of Kuja's book, False Labels?
I think it's very excellent.
The reason I'll say that I've not read it, I'm honest, but I know a little bit about it because before she wrote it, she told me a piece about it, and especially because it rotates around her life. And I've been her friend for 7 or 8 years. Wow. So I know so much about her, and I'm very, very proud of her. I'm very, very proud of her. And also the accomplishment, I'm really proud of her.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of the title, False Labels? I mean, just speaking of, I guess, your own life also, personal experiences, and you've known Pooja so long, what do you think about that title? What's the meaning behind it? Can you tell us?
I think the title is very perfect because sometimes we label people really falsely. Because sometimes you can look at me and say things about me and label me, and those labels that you say about me don't really, really exist. Because there's also a saying that goes, all that glitter is not gold, or don't judge somebody just by the book cover. And I think that's really perfect because sometimes it's good for you to get to know somebody. And on her own story, I would say that it's always good to give people second chances because you never know what they would amount to. So I think that it's a really, really great title. I think she would not have found something better than what she has right now. I think the title is perfect.
Thank you so much for that, Abigail. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. That concludes our interview. Okay, now I have this young lady here. Can you tell us your name, beautiful?
My name is Abigail Okonkwo, Joy Okonkwo's daughter.
Beautifully said, Abigail. Now, Abigail, what can you tell us about Pooja's book? I mean, you probably have you read the book?
Well, my mom knows the book a lot, and she really likes the book. And I realized that it's a very good book while staying here.
So she talks to you about the book?
Yes.
So from what she's been telling you, what have you found interesting about the book so far?
Well, what I found interesting is that it really helps. It really helps you in life, and how it gives you a lot of advice. And I really like that. And actually, what it actually does to me is that when you're judged falsely, it's not a good thing to be. So what I think is that we should not be judged falsely, and we should not judge others falsely.
Well said, Abigail. Now, of all the advices you've gotten, how have you used that in your life? Like, what has been said about you falsely, or what exactly happened, and you just remember the advice from that book?
Well, a lot of people in my school call me black or don't curse, but you know, I say that's not right, and you should really think about what you say, because that's very racism and it's not in my point of view.
Well, Abigail, let me be the first one to tell you here, you are a very smart and beautiful young lady. And you have a very bright future to be able to think the way you do. You are wise beyond your ages. Everyone, this is a smart girl right here. Abigail, thank you so much, okay? Everyone, I'm here with the beautiful, what is your name?
Olabisi Kamara. Olabisi Kamara.
Hola? Hola, now well first, what do you think of the title of Pooja's book, False Labels? And after that, have you read the book, or even if you haven't, what do you think of the book?
I think the book speaks to everybody because it's a whole lot of labels that people place on people. Sometimes they will say, oh, she thinks she's all that, she thinks she's this, she thinks she's that. But all you gotta believe is in God. Once you have your belief in God, everything will be okay with you. And forget about what the label the society give you, and just look up to God, because God is the way out.
Right. Now, Ola, have you read Pooja's book yet?
No.
But you plan on reading it soon, I'm sure.
Yes,
What's your
of
copy?
Huh?
What's your copy?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Ola.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. So again, we're here at Pooja's beautiful book launching, False Labels. I'm here with this beautiful, elegant lady. What is your name?
My name is Fatim Mansour.
Now, Fatim, how long have you known Pooja, and what do you think of her book title, False Labels?
I've known Pooja in nursing school. We went to school together, and she's been like a sister to me, a friend. And
online, so I'm gonna read more about it.
Okay. Now, Fatim, what do you think of the book title "False Labels"? What does that mean to you, false labels?
False labels mean, to me, it means like giving names to people that are not necessarily true. Like, some people just, I feel like some people just tend to give names to people by what they see in the outside. They don't really know the person, but they would just assume that the person is a certain way by hearing what people are saying about the person. So,
Right.
basically.
Right. Now, Fatim, thank you so much for that, for shedding some light on Kuja. Thank you. Hello, good evening. I'm here with this beautiful couple. Guys, could you introduce yourselves to the mic?
Yeah, it's my beautiful wife.
Vivian.
Yes, and I'm Samuel Fokumla, and Marie Claire is my junior cousin. And I'm so impressed. We are from Houston, Texas, and we had to fly right to New York for our first time for the great things she is doing.
First time New Yorker.
Yeah, and it is a pleasure because, I mean, my words cannot express how I feel deeply in me. But I want to say, the longest time we've not seen ourselves, and then meeting now, but in when she have been empowering herself and changing people and changing personalities. I just wish to say this gives me the inspiration and opportunity also to maybe change the lifestyle that I'm living, and pray that girls growing to women should copy from her. We are very impressed, and we say again, thank you, Marie Claire. Keep on.
So now, Samuel, especially as a male, and with that title, false labels, I'm sure, like someone said earlier today, we all also judge falsely. It's not only done to us. Now, how has this book helped you realize some of those, shortcomings that you might have?
Oh.
And how has this book made you finally decide, this is how I'm going to change?
Oh, so much that, like I said, my words cannot express what I feel deeply in me. And the chairperson and the coordinator said it, that they used to fear to read, or they used to fear to write. I am one of those who used to fear to read or write. Whenever any book comes in front of me, I'll feel sleepy. But I did not know that my sister, with whom we were doing agricultural farming back home, could be this one today that will be calling us, to sit right here on the red carpet.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Now, Vivian, what do you think of Kuja's book title, False Labels? What do you think of that? And how do you think, especially as Africans, we partake in that false labeling?
Book, just as I said that many people in Africa that are being labeled falsely. I cannot quote many instances. Like back in Africa, it's like just like rich people have the opportunity to travel to go to America. But today, just what she's saying, people will look at you and like you're the poor one. You cannot achieve anything. You cannot be like that. But today, when you look at it, it's like you were being taught that you could not reach America, but today you see that everybody is coming. Somebody would not even think that you could even go to the embassy, discover that you find yourself here in the country. It's like no condition is permanent, So I'm so happy for her, and it's just like I wish many people in Africa could like get just a tip of her words, and they will know. It's just going to encourage them, know that so far as you are alive, you should never give up. You should never tell yourself that you cannot. Usually we say, never you say that you're happy on this earth until the day you carry your happiness into the grave. That is her in her book.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
Well
Marie
said,
Claire.
Vivian. Well said.
And Marie Claire is telling us all that don't always underestimate yourself. For everybody is the star in his village, or the star in his family. And she is the star of this family and the star to this world. here.
Thank you so much for that, Vivian and Samuel.
Welcome.
All the way from, where you guys coming from again? Houston, Texas. To New York for the first time. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Travel back safely.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm here with the beautiful, what is your name, ma'am?
Amma.
Amma? Beautiful name. Now, Amma, can you tell us what the term false label, Kuja's book, means to you? What does false labels, Kuja's book title, mean to you?
Oh my goodness, Marie have done such a great job, because as females particularly, we go through a lot, and then people tend to quote unquote label you for every little mistake that you make in your life. And for her to take this opportunity to clarify matters, it means a whole lot.
Thank you so much. Now, have you read her book yet, Amma?
I have.
Can you tell us a little bit, for those of us that haven't read it, to get the crowd to go and get the book, for those that haven't gotten it quick? Can you tell us a little bit in there, you know, what just stuck to your head reading that?
One thing that I will say, I will sum it in a word, it's inspirational. It's very encouraging, and it boosts your spirit up, you know, especially as a female. I will recommend it for reading. Definitely.
Thank you so much, Amma.
Not a problem.
Good evening, everyone. Again, I'm here at Kuja's book signing. It's called False Labels. I'm here with this gentleman here. What is your name, sir?
My name is Clement Okbo.
Clement. Clement, what can you tell us? Have you read Kuja's book?
Read the book?
Have you read the book?
Yeah.
You have? Okay. Now, what can you tell us about the book? What did you think about the book, first of all?
About the book? Wow. First, there are 3 books, and I read 1 and 2. The very first one is dealing with self-esteem, false labeling. We understand that in the world, you can be labeled different names according to what people perceive you are, but not exactly what you are. All right. So the book encourages us to live according to who we are, not what people say we are. And in that respect, the book is very useful to both children and adults. It cuts across all ages. So I encourage people to buy it and give out. You read it, there are many short stories that teaches lessons inside the book. Book number 1. Then the second one is dealing with bullying. We know that bullying has to do with aggressive, unwanted behavior, especially by children of school age. And then it takes different forms. It can be in form of threats, or name calling, or physical or verbal attacking someone. So the book gives all insights as how this occurs and ways of correcting it and ensuring that people don't suffer bullying at any level.
Okay, Clemens, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for especially helping us, you know, realize that there are actually 3 books. You know, the first book, second book, and third book. Bullying, that's a major thing here in the United States, in the school systems, how the kids deal with that, and even back home in Africa with the kids. And you are actually not the first one to point out that the books are actually for all ages, both kids and adults. You know, so now as an adult, through reading this book, how has this helped you in your own personal life? What did you take from it? And what are you planning on passing down to our youth?
All right. First, actually, when I was in school, even in high school, in one way, I've been involved in bullying people, but I didn't understand it was bullying. First, we had someone in my class who has a very big head, and we named him something. There was a literature book we were reading then. That book was Gulliver's Travel. In that Gulliver's Travel, we talked of big people and short people. And then we had a name, we called Hekina de Gaulle. So we were calling that guy Hekina de Gaulle because of the size of his head. But we never knew it was bullying. He got angry at times.
But it was verbal.
Yes. This now that I read the book, I understand that what we did then amounted to bullying people. So in a way, it helps me to correct those impressions. Then the second part is that even I've been a teacher, I've taught in students, and I've seen actions of students too. I never knew all to be bullying. Most of this work were reserved for those people who are the counselors, school counselors. But now I know that it's not only the counselor in schools, that should be involved. Everyone should be involved in solving the problem of bullying. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So you made us realize that in some way we are also part of the bullying and the name calling and the false labeling. But you took it a step further because now you say you're a teacher and you've been helping kids deal with that and show them how to do it. Thank you so much for that. Hello, good evening. I'm here at Pooja's book launching False Labels. Now can you introduce yourself to us?
My name is Assumpta Tanifo. I live in New York City. I'm like a mother to Marie Claire. She's a lovely daughter. I knew her through my own daughter Ernestine, and they have been like sisters. They have lived under the same roof, and that's why I get to know her very much. She's a wonderful, brilliant, hardworking girl, woman, a very good mother, which I love. Like when I made my speech, I said her parents, coming from a godly church family, she was installed the values that are unbeatable. And she has transferred those values to her children. And I love that about her.
Thank you so much, Mama Marie Claire. Now, as far as this book goes, what do you think of Pooja's title, wording, to what she chose to name the book, False Labels?
Okay. My thinking is that, first of all, she is a very good communicator. Marie Claire could communicate ideas right through. Even the lay person in the village, when they read this book, they will understand. Because her communication is simple, down to the most lowest level. So this book is an inspiration, not only for children, for adults, and for every age and for every race. So this book, I can't read it because I'm in school too. So, but what I found in this book is that she is educating everybody to know that once things happen in life, you could change them. The moment you believe that you could change them and you go for it, you will make it. And that's how Marie Claire has portrayed the book. She's encouraging people to come out of their shell. If you were put in that little shell, know that you could come out and spread your wings. And that's all about this book. Very much.
Wow. Thank you so much. And with those words, I don't think there's anything else to say. I think you've said it perfectly. Thank you so much, Mama Marie Claire. And we're here finally with the main star of our night, our author, Mary Pooja. Now, Pooja, I'm sure there's so much people want to know what of your inspiration behind this book. Now, can you just tell us, it's as simple as you can, your feeling behind this title, False Labels?
Okay, I wrote the book False Labels because when I was growing up, I was labeled and called a lot of names. And names, they bless or they curse. And for me, name calling was like a curse to me because they damaged my self-esteem. So I grew up not really having a very healthy self-esteem. And this is something that is going on in our community, in our world, where the society or the media or the people in our lives, they try to tell us to live according to their own opinions of us. And those opinions are always false or fabricated lies. But False Labels is a book that tells us to drop all the stories we have been told about ourselves and create our own paths and be unique without apologizing. So that is what False Labels is about. So I wrote the book to inspire other people or other women or men and women who have gone through things like that or who have been labeled, but they are stuck in darkness, to help them come out of that darkness. So that is why I wrote the book. And like book one, which is the book you're holding, it has 13 short stories about people who were labeled and called many names, but they refuse to live by people's expectations of them. Yeah, so that is just a little bit about why I started the series.
So now, I find it amazing how, from what everyone has said especially, that this book is something for everyone across the board. Female, male, children, adults, everyone. Now, you as the author, what is the common thread? What is everyone has in common that allows you to easily be able to capture their attention with this book?
Everyone is human and everyone has feelings. When you call me a name, the same way I feel is the same way you feel about it. Nobody wants to be called a name. Nobody wants to be labeled. We are all human beings. So even though pain is very subjective, but I know for sure that if you are called a name that is not your name, it does hurt. So everyone can relate to being stopped at some point with labels that does not belong to you. So I did a lot of research and I found out from many girls, from many women, from many men who have been labeled and they don't like it. People just want to be who they are, not what people want them to be. Yeah.
So as far as name calling goes, what would be your advice for, first of all, especially our children out there that are being labeled by their parents? Because in the African community, as our parents, you know, they label us a lot without knowing. You know, they'll say, they'll laugh like, say, oh, you're fat, oh, you're this. But they don't realize the effect it has on their children. So now, what would be your advice to that child who is being labeled and no one likes to be labeled?
Okay, I'm going to start by answering for the parents. A lot of times, parents label their children. Sometimes they know it, sometimes they don't know it. But what I want to say, especially to parents, is that every word that goes out really counts. Words can bless, they can curse, they can build, they can destroy. So we should be able to sometimes control what we say to our children because it does affect them in a lot of ways. We should try to use good words to our children because those are encouraging. And for children, I want to say that when God created you and I, He created a unique masterpiece of love. Everyone is unique in their own right. No matter how many kinds of names they call you or the kind of labels people put on you, you should always know that you are a unique person and don't try to be like anyone because people are trying to tell you that you're not good enough. So that's my advice to young people out there, both young and old, because this is not an issue that is isolated to only young people. Adults also face that kind of problem. So my advice to that, we can drop any old stories, we can drop every false labels and create our own paths. We can be unique without apologizing for it. Yeah.
Right. Now, what about those of us out there who also label falsely? Because there are a lot of us out there unknowingly, as someone pointed out also, that we also do label falsely without realizing it. You know, what would you say to that?
Could you repeat that, please?
I said, what would you say to those of us who are out there who also label falsely? Because we are labeled falsely, but we are also doing it unknowingly. What would be your advice to those of us?
My advice is that we should all be strong. There's something about developing a thick skin when people call you names. But for me, I don't really believe in that. I believe that if you know who you are and whom you belong to, no matter what names comes at you, it won't mean anything to you because you know exactly who you are. So my advice is just be strong. When the name comes, let them get in one ear and go into the other, but you have to know that you are unique in your own right. Nobody should use their words to put you down or to stop you from achieving your dream.
So now we know there are 3 books. Can you tell us what is different about each book? And after that, can you tell us where our viewers can get the book, those that were not here to get the book?
Okay, there are 3 books. Book 1 is about 13 short stories I collected from individuals who were labeled in different ways, but did come out of it because they realized that words were keeping them back, and they were not ready to live their lives according to people's opinions of them, so they changed their lives around. And book 2 is mostly about bullying. I have people in book 2 who were ex-bullies who confess about their bullying acts and the reasons why they bullied. And I also have victims of bullying in book 2. like people that are crippled, but people bully them. People that are disabled, but people bully them. So I have those stories in there just to share with the world some of the things that happens when you label people. And one of the stories I really like it, but one is about a boy who became a bully because he was bullied so much, and then he decided to fight back. And in order to try to fight back, he became a bully. However, he did change his life and became an advocate. And now he goes around and he's a motivational speaker and goes around and talk about bullying because it's a very dangerous thing to do. Our kids are killing their own lives because of bullying. And book 3 is about the solutions. What will you do? That's the title. What will you do if you are bullied? So I talk about things like that because there are many things that you can do if you are being a bully. You can build your self-esteem. And then most of the time, I also talk about the bullies themselves because most of the time, we only focus on the victims and not the bullies. I talk about the bullies because sometimes they do these things because they're seeking attention, but nobody understands that. So there are things in book 3 which talks about bullies, how they can use their time to be productive citizens of the world instead of being bullies. I also talk about ways we can try to get to know why they bully and try to help them to solve the problems. I talk about empathy. If we all empathize with each other, we wouldn't be bullying. I talk about forgiveness. I talk about a lot of things. Those are simple things that go on in our day-to-day life. So I talk about all of those things. I talk about the role of the bus drivers with regards to bullying, the role of the teachers. Because sometimes teachers are the ones bullying the students. So I bring all of these things in and try to bring some solutions on how we can go about creating a bully-free world for us and the generation to come, and how we can all use our time to be productive citizens to the world and to ourselves. Yeah. And the books can be found on Amazon.com and BarnesandNobles.com.
Amazon.com and where?
And BarnesandNobles.com. And a lot of people who want to buy the books in bulk could call me, or they could go on my website and they will get information on how to get the book. And my website is www.falselabelseries.com.
Can you repeat that website again?
www.falselabelseries.com.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Mary Kay. Now, is there anything else that you wanted to ask for our viewers? Anything that you forgot to mention? Anything?
Yeah, what I have to say is that every human being is unique in their own right. We don't have to fit in because we're not born to fit in, we're born to stand out. So no matter what names come at you, no matter what labels are placed on you, you have to try to drop all those old stories and create your own path and bring your uniqueness to the world, because your world will meet you at your desires. When the time comes, the right time comes, you're not going to point fingers on people that you did not achieve your dream because of Mr. A or B. So I'm just encouraging everyone to try to live their own lives and not the lives that some other people want from them.
Mary, thank you so much for that. Thank you for coming into my life. Because of her team, I was able to come here, and I will be reading this book tonight, and I will definitely get the second and third books on Amazon. And amazing. It's just an amazing book, and I think you all should definitely go out and get it, because as some of us has pointed out already, it's a book that relates to everyone across the board. Female, male, whether you're lesbian, gay, straight, a child, or whatever. It's a book that really relates to each and every one of us and what we are going through in life right now and in the future. With that said, I would like to say good night. Thank you so much for a beautiful event. And I just realized you have an NGO, right? What is the name of the NGO, and how can we find out more information, and what is it about?
But it's a global not-for-profit organization which I created to help empower young girls and women throughout the world, especially undeserved communities. We have 3 focus areas, which is bullying, we try to combat bullying. I will also try to help girls to build their self-esteem. Then we will also be trying to help girls go to school, because there are a lot of girls who have the brains and they don't have the money to go to school. So these are some of the things we are looking forward to doing.
Now, Marie, you're focusing on, and I heard you say this earlier, self-esteem. How important is building a girl's self-esteem?
Well, self-esteem for me is like the core of every human's life. Without a healthy self-esteem, you are really nothing. You just go around in life without knowing who you are. Self-esteem is how we look at our self-worth. And if you don't have it, if you don't have a healthy one, then you are nothing. And I'm very particular about self-esteem because I grew up as a teenager who did not have a very healthy self-esteem because of names that I was called. Names do affect you. However, I don't still stand like that little girl who was once bullied and shamed. I stand as a very proud daughter of Africa who is making a change. So I want to look and give back to other girls to help them to build their self-esteem. We're doing that through a lot of ways, through education, through a workshop curriculum I created, which will be teaching about self-esteem in many schools around the world. So these are some of the things I'm doing. I'll be doing with the NGO, and I'm calling for the world to join me in this vision, because this is not a problem that is only isolated here in the States or in my country, Cameroon. This is a global problem. So I'm calling for everybody to join in this issue. There are many girls out there who, in the 21st century, continue to be sold into early marriages, but they like to go to school, they don't have that opportunity, so I really want to be able to reach to them. So launching this organization and being here today is just to mobilize people and resources so that together we can help these girls out there who have the brains, they don't have the money to go to school.
Right. Yeah. Can you tell us one more time the website for this NGO?
www.forcelabelseries.com.
Thank you so much for that. So not only are you a great author of 3 amazing books, but you're also helping to build the self-esteem of girls, and which is, like you said, very, very important. Probably one of the most important things that you can give back to your community. Thank you so much, Ariel.